Well, good day to everybody. Just going to show you around a little bit. The Pacific Ocean behind me. I think that's the Encino power plant behind me, right over my shoulder. And just a little bit of Carlsbad neighborhoods. The topic today that I want to talk a little bit more about YouTube. I talked about YouTube yesterday for small businesses, but YouTube is really more of a platform that that is something that's the world's never seen before. In fact, the amount of content being added to YouTube every day is staggering, absolutely staggering. And what's really interesting to me as a developer is that the content being added to YouTube is not only staggering, but it's the quality is getting better and better. It's amazing what somebody with some simple devices can do. Some menial cameras. Now they're using a lot of drones to do videos, but just the very way people are adding content every day to YouTube is unbelievable. And I think what's going to happen, in fact, I know that because of the content, the amount of content being added every day to YouTube, that YouTube literally will become a content source that will dwarf everything else. It'll dwarf television. It'll dwarf actually all other sources of media, of content. It'll be de facto, simply because the ability for anybody that's got a handheld device or camera to add content to YouTube, and the accessibility and the fact that it's free just gives so much power to that platform, that anybody can add so much, whatever they want to add. They can literally shoot a video a day like I'm trying to do, or they can continue to add, and over a period of time, the compounding effect of that means there's going to be so much content on YouTube that nobody else will be able to compete with it. It's just going to become overwhelming. I got this guy's house behind me. I wonder if he's in the military or was in the military. He's got a lot of stuff. So anyway, I wanted to also link that up with Elon Musk, who I recently watched a video that was at Code Conference, and he talked about this, and it's really kind of interesting. And you have to be in technology for a while to kind of understand what he says. But he says that he believes that it's the 1 in 1 billionth chance we're in base reality. And I'll put the link to the video below. But if you think about it, what he's saying is that this, I think kind of what they try to say is this is a simulation. That reality now is a simulation. And you have to really think about this, and it takes a while to get your mind around it. But what he's trying to say, or what he is saying, is that there's so much content online today that it's hard to distinguish between reality and all this content. And what he uses is the analogy of a Pong, the old video game where it would just bounce back and forth. And now we have multi-dimensional platforms where people are playing all over the world, and it's simulation, and it's so close to reality that in the near future, very near future, it will be indistinguishable from reality. So the fact that we are in base reality right now, meaning this is reality right now, is 1 in 1 billionth. But what he says later on is what's really interesting to me. And what it says is, he says that if this isn't simulation, that it's actually, there's no way it can exist. So either this is simulation or we can't exist. And I'll put the link before. You can make your own opinions of that. But anyway, it's so interesting. And again, I'm thinking of YouTube because YouTube is putting so much content up so rapidly, so fast, that they are becoming kind of a reality of themselves. A reality. And you have to really kind of follow it for a while to understand this. But YouTube is really becoming something spectacular, very spectacular with the content. And I do think because of how much stuff is being put up, they are becoming unrivaled. Nobody will be able to compete with the amount of content they got up, because the platform is free and it gives anybody the opportunity to put as much up as they want. And the smart people right now are doing that. They're taking advantage of that free platform, and they're putting a ton of content up. And a lot of the content mostly is entertainment. But it's so versatile because it can go from entertainment to instructional to learning how to do things. Literally making the traditional classroom obsolete, because now you can just go to a classroom online, instead of having to show up at a university or sit in a class and watch a lecture or do something. All this stuff can be done online. So it's really changing the way we see things and the way we see everything. So YouTube's a platform that I think is going to be around for a while. I appreciate you watching.